Okay. Good morning. So for our last session, one of my intentions is to do a little bit longer yoga nidra than we've done in the first three. Mostly, I think we've been doing about somewhere between 20 and maybe 30 minutes. So I definitely wanted to have one that was at least half an hour long today, maybe a tad longer, depending on kind of what unfolds. And really, as you explore yoga nidras, you'll see everything. I mean, I think anything kind of less than 15 minutes is too short. It takes some time to kind of drop into that state, but there are practices that could be an hour long, 15 minutes to an hour. And for me personally, when I'm doing it on my own, it's rare that I have a full hour to devote to a yoga nidra practice. But when I get to do one that's 35 to 45 minutes, that's always a nice treat. But also I allow, it's great when you can say, okay, I've got 15 minutes or I've got 20 minutes and do something shorter. So we'll do the format today will just be a little different. We're going to skip the movement portion today so that we can go straight into the practice itself. So we'll talk just a little bit here, do a short inquiry sit, some breath work, and then go into the yoga nidra practice. And I was just speaking to Barbara before starting the recording. I'm not yet sure of the plan for December and January. I probably won't do this format in December, but might pick something else up in January and kind of considering more some pre-recorded offerings that then people could, just do on their own, because that really seems to be what people are doing more anyway. That, the live time doesn't necessarily work for most people. And so creating some yoga nidra offerings that then people can do on their own time. Okay. So in the practice that I wanted to do today for yoga nidra, there's the opportunity to work with Sankalpa. And this is a word that in its most basic form means an intention or a vow or a resolution. And we could break down the word a lot and look at it different ways. And I could spend like a whole day with a group of people and we'd do like a lot of writing exercise and kind of drawing some conclusions and coming to what our intention might be, like creating an intention for the next few years, right? Some sort of vow or resolution I'm making, not so much like I'm going to start writing in my journal every day, those sorts of New Year's resolutions, but a more sort of wholehearted intention that can guide how we're navigating our days and our choices and our relationships. And so in lieu of a sort of bigger spectrum self-inquiry of how we get to a big goal or sankalpa, I'll guide you through a little bit of meditation, contemplation today, just posing some questions. And out of that, we'll see what arises. And it might be simply, to create an intention or sankalpa, really even for the next 6 weeks or something that moves you through the holiday season or moves you through the next lunar phase. The new moon is on Tuesday, so depending on when you're watching this, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving is the next new moon, so that begins a new cycle, and that sort of takes us all the way to Christmas, really. I think there's a new moon on Christmas Day. So it could be some sort of smaller intention for right now, or you may get some insight about a larger guiding principle to move with you through a few transitions of seasons. And then we'll start our inquiry also today with some gratitude. And I'm going to be teaching a lot on gratitude in the coming weeks, and some special offerings around Iowa City. And in this season of holidays, how we can sort of take time to recognize the abundance that we already have. And so I'll just guide you through a little bit of gratitude inquiry on our way to the Sankalpa inquiry. And the cool thing about gratitude is that the studies show that essentially by practicing gratitude, right, by taking time to reflect on what we're grateful for, people, things, situations, by acknowledging it, appreciating it, it actually fires like the same mental pathways, the neurological pathways that antidepressants do. And this is pretty, I mean, that's like, okay, so when we practice gratitude, the same neurotransmitters are firing that, serotonin. Serotonin is being increased, dopamine is being increased, the same chemicals and hormones that we want to be fired with our antidepressants. And yet you can't just do it one time. Gratitude has to be something that you return to so that it has that power. So we'll do a little bit of gratitude and then Sankalpa. And the thing with gratitude is that we're actually programmed the opposite direction. Like human beings have what's called a negativity bias, and it's our first line is to go toward what's wrong. And I'm sure that's a survival mechanism, because it makes sense. Like for us to survive as a species and to kind of grow or avoid danger or make the changes we need to change, we've got to see what's not right. We've got to see what's wrong. And yet it's not always helpful to have the negativity bias. So having gratitude or practicing positive thinking has to be done intentionally, because it's not where our mind naturally goes. But it's like a muscle. The more we strengthen it, the more readily available it is. And so we'll work with some of that today too. Okay, so I'm just going to mute the other participants that are here, Barbara, and then we'll get started. So if you need to stretch your legs out or do any little movement with your shoulders and neck, kind of adjust yourself so you can sit for a little bit here. So we'll go right through some contemplation and then into our breath work. So go ahead and close the eyes, settle the jaw by creating a little space between the two rows of teeth. And allow the little muscles around the eyes and lips to soften. And relax the hands wherever they land, on the lap or on the thighs or knees. Soften the hands. And take a moment here simply to feel gratitude for the time you have given to yourself for this practice. Feel grateful for this time that you've set aside and for the opportunity to rest, turn inward, and tend to your heart. Notice any holding in the shoulders or the neck. Allow the spine to lengthen without creating tension or extra force. Feel the elbows soften. Relax and soften the abdomen. Notice whatever you're sitting upon, pelvis heavy, supported. And the inner thighs, inner groins. Soften as best you can. And for about 1 minute, turn your attention to the breath. It's up to you if you feel like you want to elongate the breath a bit, breathing with intention, or if you simply want to observe breath, watch breath as it is, without changing it. Allow your awareness to move toward the breath, watching how breath is moving in the body. Letting the mind and body link up via the bridge of the breath. And we'll move toward these gratitude inquiries. So I'll pose a question or a prompt and notice what arises first. Try not to think about it too much. Simply be open to whatever arises first. And notice how it feels, what the sensations are in the body or in the mind. So first consider someone, a person for whom you're grateful. A person that is meaningful, supportive, someone you feel gratitude for their presence in your life. And now consider a place or a space, a location for which you feel gratitude. Notice how it feels. And now reflect on the last few days or your last week or even earlier today, and call forward an experience, a moment, an interaction, an experience, an event in your recent past for which you feel grateful. And then the last one here, I invite you to consider a part of yourself. Could be a physical quality, some aspect of your health, an aspect of your mind, or a personality trait, whatever it might be, some aspect of yourself that brings you a sense of appreciation, that you can acknowledge as valuable, and that you feel grateful you possess. Lean into these feelings of gratitude, that sense of sensation or the experience of exploring the people, the places, the events, the qualities in you that you appreciate. And allow this feeling of gratitude or the sensation of presence that you've cultivated to now gather and become more concentrated in the heart space. So you pull your attention more deeply into the cave of your own heart, the space of your own heart dwelling. And ask yourself, what do I want? What do I need? Or perhaps, what is something I could do, or a way of being? What is the one thing, if I were to embrace this fully now, I could feel more fulfilled, more at home, more at peace? Notice any sensations, images, anything you hear. Try not to analyze or second guess it. And then whatever has arisen, explore putting it into some sort of phrase or an affirmative statement like I am, or I have, or I can. Simply, I am at peace, or I practice, I must be at home in my body. Whatever it might be, try to create an affirmative statement. I can allow love in. Whatever it might be simple, maybe more elaborate. Just in this moment, allow an affirmative statement to arise or cultivate a positive intention statement. And we'll seal that in chanting Hrim one time. Hrim. The I is that long E. Deep breath in. Good. We'll practice some balancing pranayama here. Alternate nostril breathing. And if for any reason you're not able to breathe through one or both nostrils, or this technique doesn't feel right for you this morning, you could simply practice steady, balanced breathing through both nostrils. So inhale through the nostrils, exhale through the lips. Bend the right elbow, block the right nostril with the thumb, and slowly inhale through the left. And then at the top of the inhale, block the left nostril and exhale out the right. And breathe in right. And block the right, slowly exhale out the left. So that's one round. We'll keep going for another minute or two, practicing alternate nostril breathing. No holding, balancing right and left, and inhale and exhale. Have the intention to make the breath as quiet as possible. Soften where you can. Keep the back of the neck long. Chin draws in just a bit. Go ahead and finish the round that you're on and do 2 more cycles. Finish the round that you're on and do 2 more full cycles. That's a total of 4 more breaths. Relax the hand down. Take a couple of easy breaths in and out. And remember that intention, that desire, and even if there's not a phrase yet, that's fine, but maybe a word or an image that was most potent for you through that inquiry. And then as you're ready, you can begin to move yourself toward lying down, setting up your space for rest. And be sure you're warm and there's something soft under the head like a pillow. And if you have something that you can cover the eyes with, it's always nice. It's remembering as you're setting up for Yoga Nidra, get yourself super comfortable. The ideal is that you're set up in a kind of still state. You feel you don't need to move for the majority of the practice. And if you're feeling any dullness or heaviness, like you might move towards sleep, one option would be to lie there with your elbow bent, the fingertips pointing up toward the sky. Just on one arm, you would bend the elbow, kind of keep that little bit of activation so that you don't drop towards sleep. Yoga Nidra. Feel the body opening, settling toward the earth, nothing to do. Making any last adjustments so you feel super cozy, supported. Allow the body and mind to relax. And set a little mini intention for your practice to stay aware. The body and mind will move towards sleep, and awareness will remain ever present. Remember, there is nothing to figure out right now. There are no problems to solve. Allow the body and mind to rest as you go on a journey through the practice of Yoga Nidra to reach the state of Yoga Nidra. And become aware of the movement of the breath. Notice the abdomen here is soft. Allow the chest to be still, clear. And on each exhale, sense the body soften, a sort of release. And on each inhale, a wave of life force sweeps into the body, moving through you. Inhale and exhale, easy. No holding. Feel the body open and at ease. And here we'll call for the experience of gratitude. Just allow the feeling of gratitude to move through you, grateful for this moment, acknowledging the gift of life, grateful for everything that has led you to right now. And steeped in that feeling of gratitude, remember, call on your Sankalpa, this intention that just arose through the meditation. Allow that Sankalpa to be planted in the presence of gratitude, saying it to yourself 3 times, or perhaps just noticing the image or the word or phrase. And be aware of any sensations, any images or feelings that arise in relation to its manifestation. Feel grateful. Give thanks. And begin to return awareness to the breath. Breathing with intention now, abdominal expansive breathing. And take about 8 breaths like this, expanding on the inhale, softening on the exhale. Again, chest is quiet, abdomen soft, nourishing the body, the tissues, the organs, the whole vessel with the presence of prana. And then allow the breath to return to its natural state. Let it flow effortlessly. Nothing to do, nothing to be. And let the attention travel to the point between the eyebrows and see and feel awareness there. Awareness at the throat, point of light at each spot, like a little starlight. Center of the right shoulder, starlight in the right elbow, right wrist, tip of the right hand thumb, index finger, point of light at the middle finger, tip of the ring finger, easy approach, point of light at the little finger, center of the right wrist, elbow, right shoulder, Point of light at the throat. Starlight in the left shoulder. Left elbow. Center of the left wrist. Left thumb. Tip of the index finger. Tip of the middle finger. Tip of the ring finger. Soften. Point of light. The little fingertip. Left wrist. Elbow. Left shoulder. Center of the throat. Deep in the chest behind the sternum. Point of light. Right chest. Deep in the heart space. The center of the chest. Point of light. Left chest. Behind the sternum. Behind the navel center. Top of the sacrum. Center of the right hip. Point of light. Right knee. First toe. Second toe. Third toe. Fourth toe. Fifth toe. Point of light in the ankle. Right knee. Right hip. Top of the sacrum. Left hip. Left knee. Ankle. First toe. Second toe. Third toe. Fourth toe. Fifth toe. Left ankle. Left knee. Hip. Point of light at the top of the sacrum. Behind the navel. Deep in the heart center. Starlight. Throat. And point between the eyebrows. Become aware of yourself as space. Notice all the points of light and the boundless space and expanse between and around the points. As though you are the night sky, aware of the sky and all of those points of starlight within and around you. See the breath ascend and descend in the nostrils. Just watch the breath rise and fall. And the apex of the movement is the midbrain. Ascend, descend. Witness breath like two columns or streams of air joining at the eyebrow center or the apex bridge of the nose. Or even more, those two columns join in the midbrain. Continue to relax and simply witness the breath, the prana that moves on the breath, rising up the nostrils, and those two streams of prana, two streams of breath meet in the midbrain and descend down and out. See or experience a screen or space in front of your forehead or just inside the forehead. And from the seat of awareness, have the intention to witness any images, feelings, or thoughts that may arise as images on this screen. At first, you may notice shapes or colors. Simply relax. Be aware and notice any feelings, thoughts, or beliefs, images that arise on this screen. There's no right or wrong. Let go of expectation. The more you can relax, the more you can allow, the more will unfold. Body sleeps. Be aware and witness. Clear the screen of the mind and see, feel empty, dark space. Thoughtless, spacious awareness. Return to the effortless flow of breath and notice how the breath has changed. Now we'll open the pathways to the heart space. Be effortless, sense, and relax the pathway from each of the following points or spaces in the body to the heart. Point between the eyebrows to the heart. Be aware and relax. Right side of the forehead. Right cheek. Right shoulder. Right side body. Right thigh. Right ankle. Left ankle. Left thigh. Left side body. Left shoulder. Left cheek. Left side of the forehead. Deep in the midbrain. Relax the whole body. And see and feel the heart space as the abode of peace and effortless joy. Hiranyagarbha, the golden egg or golden womb. Sense the whole body absorbed in a golden egg, the form of your higher self, about an arm's length in all directions. You rest and are held in this golden womb. And in this space, there are no limiting thoughts. You are free, spacious, boundless, and pristine. Feel drawn to your heart, as the heart is the center of the golden egg. The source of all is in the sacred seat of the heart. Be in that space. And offer your Sankalpa at the heart of the golden egg, repeating it 3 times. See and feel the image associated or that arises with the Sankalpa, and experience the knowingness of limitless, pure willpower. And let go of all doing. And just be, relax, and see the breath as the link, the thread to timeless awareness. And the body sleeps, the mind sleeps. Awareness remains aware. Slowly let awareness drift back toward the breath. Mindful of the transition from the state of Yoga Nidra, carrying this thread of awareness with you, begin to deepen your breath. And when you feel ready, start to bring some very gentle movement to the body. And eventually turning to roll over onto one side. Awareness stays inside. Pause there. Taking a couple of nourishing breaths. And then eventually rolling over or pushing up to come into a seat. Sitting upright. And once you're there, getting comfortable, cover up with your blanket if you want. Eyes closed once again. Follow the presence of breath in the body. Notice the quality of stillness, the quality of presence that has been uncovered, revealed, remembered through your practice. And smooth breath in, smooth breath out. And one more time, reflect on this intention or this inner wisdom that you've revealed or uncovered through your practices and exploration today. That intention or phrase. And remembering a few weeks ago when we began this little 4-week journey or 4-session journey, we did some inquiry about where inspiration or where our insight or clues may arise from, and really allow the field of your own being today. Acknowledge the power of the insight that lies within you. The flame of the teacher, the flame of the part of you that knows you more than anyone else, knows exactly what you need more than any other teacher or person. Feel grateful for that presence within. And we'll chant Hreem one more time. Hreem. As you're ready, you can bow the head and slowly open the eyes. So thanks everyone. Thank you, Barbara, for being here today. What I would encourage, and I don't have a notebook here in front of me, but what I would encourage is to just write it down, that phrase or the word, or draw the image that arose through that. Like, what do I want? What do I need? Or what's something, this little intention. I am at home in my body, I think was one of the examples I gave at the beginning. Whatever it is, write it down on a piece of paper. You don't have to journal about it. You don't have to do anything with it, but putting it on paper is helpful. And do with it what you will. You might kind of stick it to a mirror. You might put it on your dashboard. You might, a student of mine at the university was just saying she'd kind of put something as her wallpaper, her background, her like home screen on her phone. So it just, every time she went to her phone, she saw it. Whatever that might be, some way to keep your thread and link to it over this next cycle or this next transition of season and holidays. So if you have any questions, of course, email me or reach out in any way. And I hope to see you all virtually or truly sometime soon. Do you have any questions, Barbara?
Nope.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.